What's going on? This is Chiefs Out West. We are your host, Kia.
And I am Butch.
We are here to talk about the Week 16 Kansas City Chiefs going to Soldier Field to play the Chicago Bears and play their old coach, Matt Nagy. Week 16, like I said before, it's going to be a good game. Really cold game. It's going to be the battle of the first round quarterbacks. Who picked the right quarterback? Who did what? Who picked the worst quarterback? We don't know. It's going to be an interesting game. I'm sure both quarterbacks are going to come hungry and try to prove something. But let's start out with the offense. Should we kind of be worried about the offense against a really good defense, or no?
Did you just say who? Did you just ask who got the better quarterback? What are you talking about? No, that's not a question. I'm sorry. Look, you know what? This is okay. The offense. Can I start first? So this is what I want to say on offense for the Kansas City Chiefs. First team to score 23 points. It's over. It's going to be a win. Going back and watching the Chicago Bears and with what the Chiefs can do on offense against a formidable Chicago Bears defense, I want to give them their just due. They're as good as any front 5 or 6 defensive line rotation that there is in the league. We put 23 points on these guys, it's over. They just don't have enough juice to come back on us.
Right. Yeah. And, I think we can get something going. I feel like, I think when this game starts, I feel like the first couple of drives, we're going to kind of get an idea of what they're like, try different plays, hopefully get some screens going, get Tarik Hill going and all of that. But we just got to our offense has to be aware of, Mack, Khalil Mack is still an enforcer. I'm still kind of, I want to take care of him. But I do remember though, when he was with Oakland, we still did a pretty good job against him. Andy Reid still knew how to plan against him. So, we know what he's all about. But this is one of the better defenses that we played all year. Well, I guess New England was probably number one, but it's one of the best. So I think this is a really good test right before the playoff starts. Getting a defense playoff caliber kind of team to really test us out and try new things and really, give us a run for our game. But my main thing is making sure our offensive line holds. I'm really hoping they I keep butchering his name. Wazinski?
Stefan Wisniewski.
Wazinski, yeah. I really hope that they start him instead of Cam Irving on left guard, because I think this is this could be his position to win it. So my thing is just take care of Khalil Mack, get Patrick Mahomes some time to step up in the pocket and let his playmakers make plays.
Yeah, exactly. So this game is going to be won and lost in the trenches. And the Chiefs' offensive line needs to have a repeat performance of last week. You said it right. Patrick Mahomes needs to be able to step up in the pocket and deliver the ball to his weapons, mainly because of the lack of coverage ability from some of the Chicago secondary as opposed to last year. Look, last year they were good. Prince Amukamara was one of the bigger pickups that they could have gotten in the offseason. He played very well for them. This year, it's been a little off. He's been a little hurt. He's been burned. He's had balls caught in front of him, guys running long on him. I think that can happen again if he's matched up against speed, like I imagine they will with Tarik Hill, because the Chicago Bears are mostly a man team. They like to put their guys on islands. They like to put them in press. They like to put them in bail, but mostly man technique, and ask them to win one-on-ones against better receivers. And the Kansas City Chiefs are the type of team where if it's blocked up right, Sammy Watkins on Kyle Fuller, I'll take that matchup. Tarik on Prince Amukamara, I'll take that matchup. They have an undrafted rookie out of LSU who I think is doing well, who may get some spot duty. If Amukamara isn't able to go due to that hamstring, I think he can get some too. And with all that said, Travis Kelce, this is going to be another Travis Kelce game. He's going to go over another 100 yards because Roquan Smith is gone. And then Danny Trevathan is gone. They're playing Kwiatkowski and Jean-Pierre Louis at middle linebacker right now. Those are the guys who are going to be manned in the middle to try to stop those dig routes, those in routes, those seam routes from Travis Kelce. It could turn into a bloodbath. But like you mentioned, up front, they are very, very good. Let me look to the camera and say this. They are still very, very good. Khalil Mack is very good. Leonard Floyd, Aaron Lynch, Akeem Hicks if he ends up playing, Eddie Goldman. This will be as good of a test that we're going to get along our offensive line before we get to the playoffs.
Right. And no, I agree totally with you. And I also think that one of the last teams, the really quick, fast teams that they played were the Saints. And Saints put up 36 points on them. I'm not sure who was in, who was out, but like they gave, and actually Saints had Bridgewater, didn't even have Breeze. And so, so it kind of shows to me when this defense plays against really quick and fast players, like they have some difficulties. And that's why, I agree. And that's why I feel like everyone's just going to have I feel like we're going to have this could be a game where we can score a lot of points if we can, but as long as we put up some good plays and, everyone, does what they need to, and it doesn't mess up or penalties and costs or fumbles. And if we can keep everything pretty straight, I think we'll be successful.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a couple of things that I was noting. I actually only charted the possessions of their Green Bay game last week, and really what I saw from the defense. I'll get a little deeper in what I saw and what I think we're going to see. A couple of things I actually really like from Chuck Pagano's defense is that they're not afraid to try different combinations on the defensive line, and they're not afraid to show aggression pre-snap. They will really mug the A-gaps with their middle linebackers, and they'll usually blitz one and they'll back one out in the coverage. When they do blitz, they usually blitz through that A-gap, and they like to loop. They like to run a little twist sometimes between the 3-tech and that blitzing middle linebacker. They like to get you confused there. They like to take Khalil Mack from the edge, put him inside on the same side with Leonard Floyd. They'll run games on that side so that you have capable blitzers both in and out. They'll play you to the sideline. They'll show blitz. They'll back out of it into a match zone type of scheme, or they'll sometimes back out of it into Tampa 2. So I like what he's able to do up front when they're able to clamp you down up front. It allows them to do some creative things on the back end. But when the back end's not holding up and when they're not getting home like they haven't been able to at times with Khalil Mack or just their front four, man, they've been getting exposed. Yeah, you said it, like that Saints game. Dude, they got smoked. I mean, it wasn't even close. They were out there getting smoked. And most of that is the offense being bad. I'm sure we'll get to that soon, but you can get some on this still very good defense.
Right. And that's why I'm kind of also really concerned with like who we start at left guard. Because, they're going to take advantage of that. Good defenses do, with Ryder having, not the best game, best game as a center, and LDT not playing like how he was, last year. Their communication up there is not doing too well. So, I see this defense really trying to take advantage of that interior O-line.
Yeah. And I really, for the sake of Akeem Hicks's career, I hope they don't play him, not just because I don't want to see him, not just because he's a good player, but because he came off the field numerous times against Green Bay in obvious pain. He had a very serious elbow injury earlier in the year. It's just, I know he wants to be a Warrior, and he's a tough guy. He's a big, tough man, but it's just not worth it in the season that's lost for them to risk a guy who they really need going in the future.
Right. And then going to our next other side of the ball, the defense playing against a pretty speedy, we got some speeding running backs, and we got Allen Robinson that we got to take a hold of, but then we got Mitch Trubisky, which should we be fear? I mean, he's not have a good season, but how should we handle this situation?
Okay, bit of a rant here. I'll try to keep it as controlled as possible. And I don't like doing these types of comparisons, but all the things that we did not like about the Alex Smith tenure in Kansas City show up on tape for Chicago. I could speak to Chicago Bears fans right now. If you're watching this video, I feel your pain when you drop back in shotgun and you try to do one of these inside zone handoffs to Tarik Cohen and he gains 2 yards because you can't move anyone. That was our offense for a very long time. I feel your pain when Mitch Trubisky drops back and after 2 seconds panics, stares into the rush, and takes off without throwing it to anyone. That was us for a very, very long time with Alex Smith. And that, unfortunately, is the problem with Mitchell Trubisky. Their offense simply can't get much going. They're inconsistent. At times they make mistakes. Matt Nagy's head has to be spinning on a weekly basis trying to implement plays into this playbook that are both creative and that Mitch can execute, because one or the other isn't happening. Either the defense knows what's coming their way most of the time, or it's the right call and Mitch just doesn't execute, or they can't block along the offensive line. The offensive line is decimated by injuries and just isn't all that good. They're going through a lot right now. That's why I say 20 points and we beat these guys.
Right. Yeah. I'm not really, it just sucks. I just really feel bad for Mitch Trubisky just being drafted first before Mahomes and Watson, and having to deal with this pressure of, I need to outplay these guys. And I think that's what's going to happen. He's just going to have that fear of like, okay, I need to go toe to toe with Mahomes. I need to show everyone that I am really good. And that's why I feel like maybe there might be some turnovers in this game that Chiefs, might get, because I feel like it just might get to his head. But I also want to know that, he does like to run at times. He is good with his feet, and he can make some plays happen. Not a whole lot, but I've seen it. I saw it against Green Bay Packers. He made some games play. And so we just got to be aware of that. And maybe make sure, I'm hoping that someone eyes him out and make sure have just someone looking at shadowing him, just making sure he just doesn't run out of the pocket. I just hope we kind of can, as long as we can contain him and keep him in the box, then we're good, in the pocket, then we're good, and then just keep him rushed and then have him freak out, whatever. But we also have to worry about, just our speeds or the trickery. Matt Nagy just came from Andy Reid's system. So, there are going to be some trick plays and, getting Tarik Cohen. He just kind of reminds me a little bit of him, but not as good. But yeah, no, I just feel like, they can get him the ball, screen game, reverse, with him and Allen Robinson is really scary. And yeah, I mean, that's really the only things I'm really fearful of, but this is going to be, I don't know. It's just, I really do feel like Mitch is going to, he's going to try to do too much against our Chiefs defense. And it's because of that pressure of like, I was drafted first before these good quarterbacks.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that's a good narrative to go with. Yeah, I think that could end up being the case. And Matt knows that as well. Look, anytime a team plays the Kansas City Chiefs, they know, man, we need points. So they may naturally just start trying to press the issue. It comes from their play calling. It'll come from the quarterback. It'll come from the rest of the players on the field trying to do what they need to do, knowing that they need to put up points or probably put up points early. But that's the thing. Like, they're desperate. They have nothing to play for. So they're willing to do anything. They can go for they can not punt this whole game. What does it matter? They don't go to the playoffs. So you have to be ready for that as a team. And I think that's what our defense is going to get. And also, let me take a step back, because I'm not trying to make it seem like Mitchell Trubisky didn't make any plays in that Green Bay game. He made some plays in that game. They had some good calls in that game. They run their offense really came down to 3 players: Allen Robinson, Tarik Cohen, and Anthony Miller. Those are 3 good options. But that's really about it. And they like to run the same formations with these guys to get them the ball in the spots they need to get to. You will see a lot of trips. You'll see a lot of 3 men to strength side. You'll see a lot of 3 men to field side. You'll see a lot of baked-in bubble screens that they try to do just to try to manufacture yards. I get the first pass play that Mitchell Trubisky throws, I guarantee you will be from shotgun. Tarik Cohen will run into the flat, and he'll throw it to Tarik Cohen just to get a completion. Like, they have things that they can do. Mitch can use his legs, did use his legs well. It's just so predictable. They have to force things into their offense just to get it going. That's my problem with them. That's why I say, look, it could go either way. He could snap out of this thing and find himself playing in a game where Mitch just says, screw it. I got nothing to lose. I am going to fire the ball in there and let's see what happens. But the chance of that being the case against this defense, I think, are slim to none.
Right. But I mean, yeah, and I do think Spags is gonna just make sure that he doesn't have any, time to do anything. And we got to remember this is the last home game for them. And if Spags continues bringing blitz after blitz, this could be the last game we see Trubisky as the quarterback of theirs. No, is it too early?
I mean, you know what? We're at a point now where we're talking about bringing in competition for him, because you can't. If you're Matt Nagy, you gotta you want to keep your job. If you're Ryan Pace, you want to keep your job. And if things start going this direction and they bring in some competition in the offseason, God forbid they bring in Marcus Mariota and he outplays Mitchell Trubisky. Marcus Mariota can outplay Mitch Trubisky. I know this for a fact. So if that happens, they have to make a difficult decision. Do I think it'll happen this offseason? No, but it could be close. Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. I mean, I think the defense has a good game against this team. I see it getting a little bit, maybe in the first half, getting a little, the overall score being kind of low, and maybe Bears making it kind of close to the end zone, kicking some field goals. But at the end of the game, I think, we see a lot of Frank Clark. I'm hoping to see a Terrell Suggs strip sack. I just want to see it. I want to get this defense pumped for the playoffs. And I'm also hoping to see a Bills loss while we watch the game too. Oh, I think it's before, but whatever. But
no, you want a Bills win.
Oh, Bills win. Sorry. Just kidding. Bills win. Of course. Pats lost. But yeah. So what are your predictions for this game?
Well, I like I mentioned, I think that they're not going to be very bold. I think we hold Mitchell Trubisky under 300 yards passing. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. I think the Chicago Bears score one touchdown against us. That's the over/under is at one touchdown, and then the rest are field goals. So I think the Chiefs, like you mentioned, starts off a little slow. Both defenses playing well. Both offenses coming out and trying to fill their way against good defenses. Both play callers trying to fill themselves out against both defenses. And then by about the third quarter, midway through the third quarter, that's when Chicago really starts making the unnecessary mistakes. The Bears defense really starts to get a little winded. They get tired out there. They get sick of being on the field for so many possessions. And then this thing starts really opening up from about a 13-10 halftime to the Chiefs winning 28-10. I really think we could blow these guys out. I'll call it 27-10. We blow these guys out and send their season into misery.
Right. Yeah. I got 24-13. I think in the beginning it's just stay close, slow scoring, and then it's just in the second half, score one or two more touchdowns, and just to kind of ice the game and just take over. And I think we might see even Chase Daniel come out. No. I won't make it that bad for him. I'm just kidding. No. I just see it coming out, but I'm just I really hope that Mitch can just. I don't know. I just feel bad for the kid, but this might be the last game we might see him as a starter. But thanks, but thanks, guys. Though, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, comment on our show. Other than that, we'll see you guys after the Chiefs game. Peace.